Hello students, since almost 20 years I'm in the field of teaching, and I have always been telling my students, for this generation from Narnol to NASA, and for next generation NASA will come to Narnol. So with that positive note, today we are going to study gibberellins. Gibberellins is not representing a single plant hormone. It is a group of about 136 chemical which are plant hormones, and this was separated by Yabuta and Sumuki. Yabuta and Sumuki, two people, in the year 1935 from a fungus. The name of the fungus was Gibberella fujikuroi, Fujikuroi. This was the fungus, and this is a fungus which causes disease in the rice plant, and name of the disease that it causes is a foolish seedling disease in rice plant. So that was all about this, and the most important, most extensively and most active gibberellin is GA3. This is gibberellic acid, GA3, gibberellic acid, and the gibberellins are synthesized in growing leaves and developing embryos and in the root tips. They are moved both by you can say that vascular bundles, the xylem and phloems. Gibberellins are transported both by xylems and phloems, and their transportation is non-polar. See, non-polar means gibberellins can move through plant parts in any direction, non-polar. This is opposite to that of auxin hormone. While I explained auxin, I forgotten to tell that movement of the auxins in the plant parts is polar, and it is showing two types of polar movements. One is it is basipetal, another is acropetal, acropetal. See, basipetal means movement towards the base from the apices, and acropetal means movement of the auxins towards the apices from the base. Once again I am telling you, auxin hormone shows polar movement, which means it is having two types of polar motion. One is basipetal, another is acropetal. In basipetal, auxin hormone moves towards base from apices, and in acropetal it moves towards apices from bases. But this was about auxin. The movement of the gibberellins is non-polar. That means the gibberellins can move in any direction in this. That was all about this. Now further we will see what is the function of gibberellin. Number one, it causes cell enlargement and differentiation. See, enlargement we told it is about growth, and differentiation I told you, in differentiation a less specialized cell becomes more specialized. It helps in the breaking of dormancy in seeds and buds. It helps in breaking dormancy in seeds and bud. It also stimulates the growth in stem, leaves, and also it increases the size and number of the fruits. See, this is to be understood very clearly, that gibberellins help in the increasement in the size of fruits and also in the number of fruits. Then it also doing a very important function, that it induces parthenocarpy. When I am telling parthenocarpy, that means it is helps in the production of fruits without fertilization, or I should say it helps in the formation of seedless fruits, in the formation of seedless fruit without fertilization, and this term is called parthenocarpy. And also it neutralizes the effect of ABA, that is abscisic acid. See, one of the function of abscisic acid that promotes the dormancy, whereas gibberellin breaks the dormancy. So this can be studied, that it is trying to neutralize the effect of ABA, abscisic acid.